Hi guys, happy Earth Day. And I've been working in the garden quite a bit, as I know many people who have fortunate enough to have the gardens over the last wee while. And one thing I've really noticed, which I love at this time of year, is the first very hot day or warm day of spring when there isn't any wind. You can hear a really wonderful sound if you're in a pine woodland. There's a slight cracking, almost like someone's just treading on a tiny bit of bark and it's snapping, or a twig that's snapping. But what it is that the pine cones are opening up. And so the Scots pine, which is behind me, the cones, as many of us know, on the tree, the bracts, they take approximately 2 years to ripen, and the cone is shut, the bracts are tightly shut, and then it's the first warm day in spring, a really warm day in spring, that the bracts start opening up and then the seed fall out. And the seed on the Scots pine are a tiny little black seed attached to a kind of papery bract, and they kind of helicopter down. And one of the reasons I've been noticing it is I've been getting my veggie beds going, and I put their new veggie beds and I put them just to the side of where there's some Scots pines, and the wind has blown from the north and it's blown a lot of the Scots pine seeds onto my veggie beds, which I kind of find quite funny and amusing. So Scots pines, Pinus sylvestris, as I mentioned, the cones take about 2 years to ripen, and once the cones have fallen to the ground, the dampness of the ground will make the cones close up again. So you might think that there are young cones on the ground, but often they've emptied of seed, they're fallen to the ground. From an ethnobotanical point of view, and a biological or ecological point of view, the seeds are eaten by, well, when they fall to the ground, they'll be eaten by rodents, and there'll be squirrels that will be ripping off the bracts and eating the pine seed. But also humans, we eat pine nuts. But actually all pine trees, you can eat the seeds. It's not actually botanically a nut, it's a seed. But you can eat the pine seeds of Scots pine too. You need to just pick them then from the tree when the bracts are closed, put them on a radiator to mimic the first warm day in spring, and then you can shake them out and you'll get your pine seeds. Now, not all pine trees will open this way. If you're looking at pine trees that are mainly in much warmer countries like in Mexico, they often rely on a forest fire to open up the pine cone, and sometimes it can take about 10 years for the cone to open up naturally. So Pinus sylvestris, Scots pine, pine seeds, and if you are somewhere without the wind and there's conifers around you, see if you can hear that little cracking sound. And I just love the way nature just dialogues with us. We just need to take time to listen. So happy Earth Day.